Where do I begin? Should I tell you on where I get these designs from? Passing over the Alpha Omega 52. Two letters that look the same. When I turn it this way, it's an N. I turn it this way, it's a Z. If I look in between these two letters and put two lines down, I can create the H. If I turn it this way, I create the I, H-I-N-Z. It says Heinz. The total letter value, 57. Bewildering to me. Numeric value for the moon, M-O-O-N, 57. Letters, G and E. Gates Electric Company. Where am I going to come with the story? What am I going to tell you? 12 years ago, on the fifth day of the week of the fifth year, 2005, it was a Thursday. I was 41 years old, and that was equal to 5. It was the 125th day, 5 times 5 times 5. The sky opened up. I saw a lady that looked like the lady from Columbia Pictures. She somehow vibrated a number to me. It was 7286. Made a phone call to my ex-wife. Vibration that came from the sky. Remarry me in the heavens. This earth is rotten. Anyways, I got nuts. I thought I was dying. I couldn't figure anything out. Called my parents, told them I was dying. Took me to the hospital. I committed myself. I said, I don't know what's going on. They drugged me up. They drugged me so much. From a high, I went to a complete low. And I was writing and calculating. All I knew is on that night, I was told in vibration, never let anything go. I went online after they let me out for a few days from the hospital, after they trusted me, because they don't trust you. They take away your clothes. They don't let you outside. They check. They think everybody's going to commit suicide, so they watch you. They don't want you to smoke any drugs. They don't want you to drink. They watch you. They watch you. They watch you. Under surveillance. They wrote down, this guy writes all the time and writes. What's he writing and what's he mumbling? It seems like everybody that is diagnosed with bipolar, some kind of schizophrenic OCD, obsessive disorder, or what do you call it, OHD, or whatever you want to call these diseases, obsessive compulsive disorders. We all write, and I wrote. Anyways, I went home and I looked up 7286. And it said the return of Dragon Ball Z, and I downloaded and I printed all these pages, and on lines and lines, and I read the lines and codes, and it said we must remarry. I said the same lines, we must remarry in the heavens. The earth is puri, the earth is a shambles. The same thing I said that night to my ex-wife is the same thing that happened. Lo and behold, they let me out of the hospital about 20 days later. And I still wasn't happy that they said I'm bipolar and it's for life. And the pills they was eating under my skin, I couldn't sleep. But they wouldn't give you anything in the hospital because they didn't want you to be addicted. Yet these pills were, seroquel was creeping and lithium was creeping under my skin. I was hot and I was scared and I was confused because the doctor says it's for life. They bring in your parents and your family. How do you think he is? Everybody is now judging you. Judged before, judged during, judged after. And when they speak to you how you are, they have to think if what you're telling them is actually correct, because they don't want you to do anything wrong to yourself other than or anybody else. So they're now programming you and the world. Go into this other hospital, and I go down to the Jewish General to get re-diagnosed because I don't like these pills. And, you know, it's a long story. I'm not even sure if I should mention this whole story. One of my problems show up, which is my brother, and he finally gives me a paycheck that he hasn't paid me in weeks, and he gives me the money. And that's not what I want. I came there to ask questions. He's bringing me the money. I threw the money in the air. All of a sudden, the orderly grabs me. They're needling me, and they knocked me out, and they just kept feeding me these pills. Lock you in a room. They don't let you go out once a day for a half an hour with a comedian downstairs to smoke a cigarette. And I'm still writing. And I'm still writing. Excuse me. And I'm having these crazy dreams. I'm feeling really out of it. I'm having these empty dreams. And the only time I ever felt good as if somebody would put a hand on my shoulder, not say a word, not tell me everything's okay, just shh, relax, relax the mind. We are connected to this great vibration, this great nuclei on the earth, in which I would never believe that an Indian group would come down and they'd sit in a circle and they'd all and they'd all start singing and dancing, and all of a sudden it would start to rain. That also confused me. I'm just telling you parts and things of what I think. And it confused me, and how is this possible, and how do the churches and the Bible's life after death and the eternal life, what eternal life? When you come to the end and you die, there's never forever and no more. You'll never to be and have or whatever, so why do and whatever. So, and people telling me karma and it'll come back to you and this and that. And what's karma in a small life of 60 years, and what's going to come back to me? Anyways, lo and behold, I started studying everything. Then I looked up. Einstein, before he passed away, was studying the theory of everything, in which I now study the theory of games people play. I take alphabets and I connect the letters together. I take words and I connect words together. I'll chop them in half. Or I'll take the outside of the word and I'll split it apart. Or I'll take the middle of the word and bring it together. The same way they do in games. I take pool, and I know that colors mix now. The 1 is yellow and the 9 is yellow, and the 2 is blue and the 10 is blue. So I started doing this, and then I started looking into the alphabet, and then I started taking words. The word sun is number 54, and the word moon is number 57, and the word earth is number 54. And I started creating very layman mathematical equations for all of these. And while this was going on, I was having dreams what to do with my letters. How can I design with my letters? What do things do with letters? What do shapes do? How do we connect shapes? And then I saw a Magen David on the wall. And on the Magen David was bricks. And I looked at the bricks and the designs of the bricks. And the designs of the bricks. And when you bring these designs of the bricks together, you end up with the letter I, showing separation between height, and the H. So now you know we now have to do this. We now know that when we have the letter N, we now have to split sides. We want the letter Z, we're now going to have to do this. This and this will show me what the bricks do. It spells Heinz, and the total for the Heinz letters in the numeric alphabet is Heinz 57. The bricks create H and I at the same time. The bricks create the number 5. The bricks create the number 5, and at the same time, it's not drawn properly. Did I get this right? At the same time, the bricks create 52. HI 52. H9, 9 and 8. 9 times 8, 72. And 10 times 72, or 10 hours, 720 minutes, is half the day. 60 minutes by 12. 10 times 72. 10 is a numeric actuality on a dice cube, where 5 and 5 create 10, but the only other way to create 10 is 6 and 4. Well, the reverse at the 7th gate of 4 is 3. The reverse of the 6 is 1. So we now have 1 and 3, alternate current. And all these brought on words, etc., etc. And this started to make me feel good. And I started to put letters and numbers and designs together. As you can see, I'm sitting in my apartment right now, and I've painted the whole place. A bélier, a star, the fleur-de-lis, the cross, 10 commandments, etc. And knowing and studying numbers, that what is 6 and 4? What is 5 and 7? What are all these numbers? What is 6, 6, and 6? And I kept calculating. The vibration of Earth is 51. The vibration of Earth is inside 1 and 5. Inside 1 and 5 is 2, 3, and 4. Well, CHAIGH times CHAIGH, 18 times 18 is 324. 32 is the freezing point. 24 is the numeric value of 9 lives of the cat. And there's so many things I can't explain to you, all the numbers and why it's the 9 lives of the cat. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 8 and 6, the separation of the 7th gate. The spirit is 76 because the odds in games people play in craps is 7 and 6. 7 times 6, 7 plus 6 equals 13 and 42, equaling the 55. And the speed on the American highways. Stood in there long enough for someone to know because we're all connected to this game we play. 42 minus 13 is 29. 29 is our birth, and all the eggs are in the rack. Ken Dryden. Montreal Canadiens. The design, the happy face, and the design. All these things, there's a story behind everything. If I come back to the French language, in the French language they say 17, 18, and 19. They say it as 17, 18, 19. Is it 10 plus 9, 10 plus 8, 10 plus 7, or is it 10 minus 9, 10 minus 8, 10 minus 7? 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. In all actuality, everything is 1 and 2. 1 in between 2 creating 3. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals 3 and 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, jacks and 5. The word jack is 50, is 25, the numeric value for Earth. The short value for the planet Nibiru. The long count for Nibiru in numbers is 73, and that's the cubed world. I'm not expecting you to understand any of this. 123 times the numeric value for time 47 equals to 5781, or 3 times 19 artificial intelligence, Big Mac, also another representation, and 81, 3 times 27, 19 and 27 equals to 46. This will bring on the barnyard gates and the birth of Christ. Jesus is number 74, 47 of times, 74 the cross. 7 times 4 equals to 28 the cycle, or 7 and 1, which is the gateway, creating 4. 7, 4 balls, 3 strikes. But only at 3 balls and 2 strikes will anything actually happen on the next pitch. Creating at 6. 3 strikes and 3 balls, you are out. 4 balls and 2 strikes, and you're on base. 4, you're taking a walk. 7 is the totality before the action. 6 is what is on one side. 8 is what is on the other side. I'm not expecting you to understand anything other than what should I actually write to you. So I'm just telling you all this. If you have time to watch this video, then you watch this video. If I knew I was talking to you directly, I would be really nervous about this, but I don't want to think about it. Everything is connected. Even marijuana, 420. Linking up to the Mayan Chronicle, 1320. 1 and 3 equals to 420, which equals to 80 minutes, 60 and 20. 80, which means 420 from the French version. Back to 17, 18, 19. Everything is 3s. 3 times 17 is 51 Mars. 3 times 18 is 54 the Sun. And 3 times 19 is 57 the Moon. Earth is 52, 52 cards in a deck, and 2 jokers. 1 card is the explanatory card for 55 cards in the deck. Earth is 4 times 13 equals to 52. Earth is also another numeric value. See, everything is going to be connected to 2, 3, and 4. And that's our vibration, 2, 3, and 4. The reverse of 2, 3, and 4 is 6, 7, and 8. And 6, 7, and 8 are all together in 1. That means 2, 3, and 4 have to be understood in 1. How so? When you take out the deck of cards, the 6 is in the 7 and the 7 is in the 8. The 3 of them create 21. When I showed you the design of 1 and 7, I know if we go to blackjack, black meaning 29, jack equaling to 25, total equals to 5404. All zeros equal to 6 because nothing happens at 0 except let's throw the dart through the area 0. We have one number counted as the 5th area inside one area. Inside of 8 is your 9. So 1, 5, and 9, A, E, and I. These two, any one of these two combinations will all equal to 3, 6, 9. 1 and 2, 3, 2 and 4, 6, 2 and 7, 9. 5 and 1, 6, 5 and 4, 9, 5 and 7, 12, 1 and 2 is 3. 3 makes everything perfect. If you bring to me 16, I will say 3 times 5 plus 1. If you say 17, I will be 3 times 5 plus 2. But if you say 18, it's not now 3 times 6. So it's always 1 and 2 plus or 1 and 2 minus, and 3 will always bring you there. 3 will always make the non-dividable plus 1 or 2 now dividable. It'll make it perfect again. I don't know if I'm making any sense to you. I don't know what's coming off. So anyways, after years have gone by and years have gone by, and I'm popping these pills, 800 seroquel, and it's crawling under my skin, 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, and these doctors are playing with me. They call themselves doctors, and when you look up the doctors in the dictionary, they are practitioners. They practice on medical science of things that are tested, only tested, but not exact. And they tell you this might help you. They don't say it will help you. They say it might help you. They never give you, and then they test you all the time. Take this pill, oh, and now you have high blood pressure and low blood pressure. They never tell me, eat better, eat this, eat that, eat this, eat that. Every time I tell them what I'm doing, they say, don't do that. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Never listened to them really, because they just kept putting me down. My doctors just kept putting me down. I think, and maybe seeing me every 3 or 4 months, and then when it's really bad, they try to see you every week. If they could, and it did happen in 2010, I had moving pictures in my head. So they gave me a pill called Lamoctal, and all of a sudden the moving pictures went away. And when I had the moving pictures, I was doing tons of art, tons and tons of art. They gave me that pill, and all of a sudden, boom, it's an addictive pill. They took it away, and I started to fall again. 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300. Take it all at night. I used to take it at night. I was a zombie in the middle of the night. I used to wake up scared. A friend used to put his hand on my shoulder. I told him, say nothing. All of a sudden, I'd calm down and go to sleep. 12 years later, I take 10 milligrams every other night just because it puts me to sleep. But I don't take any medication at all. The Bible says to exalt yourself, and I painted a house. I've done 6,000 videos on different numerical calculations in basic terms. I've heard everybody telling me, you're sick, you're retarded, you're dumb, and other people telling me you've helped me out. You've helped me to understand this. We have to remember the world we live. The Indians powwow calling the rain because the love came together, brought the nuclei of the universe of creation together, and the rain fell. But when everybody was fighting, there was famine. There was no more rain. Everybody was separated, so the cells separated. We are connected to this world. We asked, as I believe, to come into this world. We pray and thank God for the animals we ate, because before, I believe, when you come into this world, I want to be a dog. I want to be a goat. I want to be this. And they tell you when you read exactly what it is, because we're not human. We are not human. We become whatever cell it is, whatever it is, we become, that's what we become. I like to say and note it, tetragrammatron. Although I know nothing about it, the little bit that I did read told me that this is where we are. We are in the Urantia world links. And one of our primary goals to whatever you want to believe, is the survival of the universe. And if the universe doesn't survive, nothing survives. And in these bodies, touch and feel, we get to note what we need for complete survival towards the universe. Although everything is more science and nature, we have to understand how to apply things, all in applications. We are separated through hatred of religion and propaganda that's going on all around us. I've taught myself combinations of what numbers do and what games do. In Monopoly, the lowest you can actually roll in Monopoly of what you believe is 2 is not the lowest according to the Monopoly rules, because anytime you get the lowest dice of 2, you have to roll again. So you cannot roll 6 because you'll keep 2, 2, and 2 is 6. And the third doubles will put you in jail. So you can roll lowest 2, 2, and 3, meaning the lowest you can get is 7. In Monopoly, the first property is actually the last property you can get because there are 2 dice. In the deck of cards, we don't start. The 1 goes into the 2, creating 3. And then the 4 is located in the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 card. The 5, the 1 and the 4 is located in the 5. The 5 is located in the 9. The 6 and 7 are inside the 8. So all you need is 9 and 8. 9, 8, and 3. 17 and 3 is 20. And then Jack, Queen, King. Don't forget, I have to do this in English and French because I am English and French. I also relate to other languages and sounds I hear. I know there are 2 major colors that when you mix with white will become a completely different color to its name, and that is white and black and white, black, and red. White and red will be pink to a different name. White and black will become gray. They each get a numeric value. Win a big red sun, number 27, will create number 23. 2 times 7, 2 plus 7 equals 9, 14 equals 23, 0, 5 if I minus it. 35, 3 and 5 are 53. 5 times 3, 5 plus 3. 5 and 3 is 8. 2 and 7 is 9. 8 and 9, H and I are linked together. This is N and Z. This is H and I. That's your Heinz. Heinz 57, linking through the moon. Because of how the Z runs, because of how the N runs, because of how the H runs, because of how the I runs. Things, movements of our body, everything is connected to the universe. I don't know what more to tell you. Everything links. Today I'm on hardly any pills. People having psychological disorders goes beyond this disorder itself. I believe it's a mental thinking. We're on this earth. Why are we here? What's going through these people's heads? Why are people rebellious to certain things? I learned the sky is now filled with chemtrails. I learned that when I pour the water in my sink, we never can waste water because we've been recycling water and we're putting chemicals in our water. I read about, I became one of the students of Dr. Google because everything I read, I take some things as Nirishkeit and other things make a lot of sense. And I put 2 and 2 together. Propaganda is all over the place. Do you want to talk about medical? Do you want to talk about what happened in the Jewish General Hospital when the 3 doctors sat down and looked at me and judged me before they actually learned and understood me? Do we want to understand the medical field? Do we want to understand the pharmaceutical field, of where they take an animal, they test it, and they throw it back at the auction sales and sell it again for all the other animals to get sick? Because I was in that business. I've seen it happen. Where the birds flock to the dumps, where everything is run by money, the birds flock to the dumps. The birds go and they poop everywhere and bring disease everywhere. Where money runs everything, dumping all of Montreal, all the sewage into the St. Lawrence because they didn't want to spend the money. Money grows on tree. If you manipulate it properly, money grows on tree. But we need to separate the people, where 50-50 means we're all against each other. The money growing on trees, the rich, the poor, the elite, and the control of the system. So what do I stand for? On Facebook, you can look up Art Mr. Tackpans for some of the designs. I design on these sites called Cow, Win a Big Red Sun. MrTackpans.com, Art of Wear. I am on the Mr. Tackpans YouTube channel. Sometimes I sound like a nut. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I even spill my coffee on myself. Don't know what to talk about, don't know what to tell you. I'm sending you this video. Very funny star, this star, depending on how you design it. Number 6, very special. It will create these numbers. These numbers tell us all about the cycle in the big red sun. 5 shows us we're on the cross. 4 shows us we run 360 degrees of creation of love. 3 and 6 inside is 4 and 5. LOVE are those numbers. The moon number is 3476, and you would see 3476, right? This will create one kind of design, and I can show you that design. Or 3476 are in these void spaces. 3, 4, 5, put 4 here. 1, 3, 5, put 3 here. We have 3 and 4 DC here. 5, 6, 7, put it here. 6, 7, 5, 9, put 7 here. 3476 circles the 5. The diameter of the moon, 3476. Or is it 3746? Regardless, 2160 miles is what that number is. 1440 minutes in a day times 1.5 equals to the diameter of the moon in miles. 1.5 is the numeric value for Mars. 5.5 times 1440 is 7920, and that's the diameter for the Earth. The difference is 4 times 1440, the numeric value for the number of minutes in a day, equals 5760. And that number, 5760, is the year 2000 in the Hebrew calendar. So everything in numbers to me is linked. 57 and 44, 101, area, space, and moon. 54 and 47, time, Christ on the cross, electric company, passage through the sun and the moon. This is what the numbers tell me. What did you want to know again? I forgot. I'm not even sure where to go. And I've done a few paintings. I'm not a painter. I'm not a painter. Apparently, I'm just bipolar. But I don't know what I'm doing, and I never painted anything before. I became bipolar. Bipolar to me is something to do with speed dial. Can't control the speed on the dial. High, low, your body wants to go. Your body, your mental, your vibrations are all confused through everything that's going on the earth. Being taken advantage of, thinking of it, have other things to do. People above saying money, 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 you have to make money. And then you go and have fun, and then the government comes and takes it away from you for whatever reason it is. And then somebody else, you buy a house and you pay taxes, 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 and then you lose your job and you can't pay the taxes on the house, and all of a sudden you can't pay for the house and you lose the house. So something is wrong in the system. So all these things in my mind over time, putting in hundreds of hours of work every week and every 2 weeks. I don't even know if I said too much already. Few of these, just take another pill and everything will go away. But let me tell you one thing what these pills did. I was scared to drive in traffic. I was confused if I should be walking on the line of the sidewalk or not. What have I done? This is a shofar. It's my own personal shofar. I've been blowing shofar at a private shul for the community in St. Sophie for 41 years. 41 years. House of Jacob, St. Sophie. And I never want to miss it. I actually think that I'm pretty good with this. Painted this up last year. Aleph, Beit. The Beit letter is also connected on the bricks. Just to end this off, if you made it to the end of this video, Moses and Pharaoh, they got together, right? You remember that story, the 10 Commandments? Well, there was cities at the beginning before Pharaoh. So they built the cities and they pharaohed the land. Cities and Pharaoh. The African king comes in offering carpets and offering this beautiful royal carpet, royal standing for the divided skies. How so? Because purple is the $10 bill. The I, okay, is the $10 bill. Poker chips hold green, red, and white, and the black for 100. So colors tell me things. Horse races, thoroughbred, standardbred. Pool, different colors of balls, color mixes, everything talks to you. Then there's number values, there's Pythagorean values, there's binary codes, there's Fibonacci codes, the 3 primary colors that I just happened to find on the ground where the 10 horse happens to mix these 2 colors together. So the 10 horse, which connects 5 and 5 and 6 and 4 and no other way in numbers to connect it, is what connects our skies. Jesus born in a manger. To me, a manger is a salle à manger. Salle à manger, where the knives are, in the science lab. The science lab where the Hebrews have the New Year's in September, October. The balance. Lab, science, creation. What do I know? I know 5775 is the moon, and the same design comes out inside the Mug and Dovett and the Budweiser bow tie. 1 angle to the bow tie, 2 angles to the bow tie. Here is the center on the cross, dividing 2 sides. G, we connect C over to 7 or number 37. C over to 7 or 37. In Russia, they write backwards, so I have to bring this. In Chinese, they say chi, chai, ichi, and all these. I just have to think of it in English terms. And now I'm going to ask you this question. What did you want me to write to you? Write it in your words. This video will come to you under Mr. Tack Pans. That's who I am. Mr. Tack Pans, Palace of Art, missing pieces of creation. Creation and missing parts. We must come together in love. 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3 and 6, 9. 5 and 4, 9. All numbers talk. I don't even know where to go with this. I think we're going to end this video right now. If you've made it to the end, I really appreciate it. If there's something you'd like to ask me, go right ahead. I'm a little nervous in the public eye, but I think I can get on by. Raphael, 72. 86 in a constellation of Pegasus. 72 in a big red sun. 80 split, the split in the heavens between man and heaven. Thank you for watching this video.